Hey everyone, I'm back with another House of the Dragon video. Today I'm talking about a new character that we'll see in season 2 of the show, Daeron Targaryen. Daeron is the fourth and youngest of the children that Alicent and Viserys had. Aegon, who is the eldest of the four, is about 7 years older than Daeron. In Fire and Blood, Daeron was the same age as Rhaenyra's eldest son, Jace. The first thing a lot of people are probably thinking is, why didn't we see Daeron in season 1? Well, some book readers were asking the same question and even wondering if he might make at least a cameo in the final episodes. In his Not a Blog site, George R. R. Martin commented, quote, "We just did not have the time to work him in this season," end quote. And while that wouldn't be the best excuse if a critical character was cut out, in this case it didn't have an impact on the story. Daeron will be important moving forward, but he didn't play any significant role in what we've seen so far. Also, during the events of season 1, Daeron was actually squiring in Old Town for the Hightowers. It also makes sense, too, with the revolving door of actors that we had for the children's roles as they got older, that the showrunners thought it best to just leave him out. Ryan Condal said, "When he is relevant to be mentioned, and he will be mentioned." So let's dive into what we know about Daeron. When he was an infant, Viserys made an attempt to have Daeron bond with Rhaenyra's son, Jace, since the two were the same age. Viserys had the two babies share the same wet nurse. But like most of Viserys' attempts to quell the enmity between his children with Alicent and Rhaenyra's boys, this too failed miserably. At only 6 years old, Daeron already had a dragon, Tessarion. She was a young, nimble dragon known as the Blue Queen because of her cobalt blue color. Her claws, crest, and stomach were a bright copper. And what's even more unique was that her flames were a cobalt blue, too. The image of Tessarion with the blue flames is giving me bad flashbacks of the final season of Game of Thrones, where they had Jon just shouting at the reanimated Viserion. Anyway, it's said that Daeron wasn't riding his dragon at the age of 6, and they're unsure exactly when he began to. As he grew older, he was seen as handsome. Daeron was the most popular of Viserys and Alicent's three sons, which, to be fair, is a pretty low bar. He was seen as intelligent and courteous to others. He was also said to be the gentlest of the brothers, which is an even lower bar considering that Aegon assaulted women and Aemon, well, yeah, not that hard for Daeron to rise to the top here. Obviously, too, being the youngest, Daeron grew up in the shadow of his older siblings. Sometimes that can be difficult for kids, but being that his family was so dysfunctional, that might have worked out more to his advantage here. As I mentioned before, at the time in which the war breaks out, Daeron is a squire for Ormond Hightower. He was sent to Old Town when he was 12 years old, which would put him at 15 at the time of the Dance of the Dragons, but the show has been playing around a little bit with the ages in the series, so we'll have to wait and see. The casting for Daeron is going to be interesting because in season 1, some people remarked that Aemond, who is 3 years younger than his brother Aegon, actually looked much older. What's funny, though, is that Tom Glenn-Carney, who plays Aegon, is actually 2 years older than Ewan Mitchell, who's playing Aemond. Personally, though, I like the way they handle this, because the two characters led very different lives. Aegon lives more of an easy life, hanging around the Red Keep, being overindulgent, and sleeping in late, whereas Aemond, after he claimed Vagar and lost his eye, took on a harsher, more austere life filled with relentless training. I wouldn't expect the actor who plays Daeron to look considerably younger than Aegon, particularly since he'll have a significant role to play in the future of the series. Without giving spoilers away, Daeron will be very capable in combat and will gain the nickname Daeron the Daring. So that's the rundown of one of the most significant new characters we'll see in Season 2. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're interested in more House of the Dragon content, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.